You know, we don't put these stickers on until we install the parts. Hey folks, welcome back to the garage. We're just gonna dive right in and keep going on that bell housing, see if we can figure out if we need to buy a motorcycle lift or not. So let's just hop in. All right, I did notice another drop of oil underneath here, which is not in the normal place I would expect it. So I'm wondering if maybe I have a leak from, oh, that's coming from the, okay. Unless it's coming from above, there's a significant chance that it's dripping down this way. So the whole thing is pretty. If I need to screw this in further, I might have to do that, or take it out and put some more thread sealer on it. Really doesn't seem like a lot of oil coming out if that is the case. Okay, so what am I doing here today? I'm gonna loosen up that header and just see if we can ram that bell housing in sideways if we have to. I'm not gonna film it. I'm just gonna loosen it up and then we'll get to where we need to get to. I'll start recording after that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. What? Wait a minute. It's so close. Right here. This one little nub here. Oh yeah! Oh shit. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. This was poorly planned. Dude, we fit it. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, you busy?
You okay?
Yeah, are you busy?
No, what's wrong? You need me? I'll be right down.
Yeah, I need you for a sec.
Alright, okay, bye.
Right. Oh my god, it fit. I just had to loosen these. That means that I can take this out and change the clutch without having to pull the engine or drop everything down. Don't get me wrong, this was a huge pain in the ass, but...
You okay?
Yeah. On my workbench, there's a little socket with a hex on it. Thank you.
Scared the shit out of me. I thought you got hurt.
Didn't need to scare you.
I'm like, all the car fell on him. I gotta go.
I think that's all I need for now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Sleazy coming in clutch. Get these top ones on. And then I will consider this a job well done. So the trick is loosening those headers. I don't know if you guys can even see this. Probably not. I can't even see it. Look at this. Now I just got to get those two bolts up there and get as many bolts in the sides as I can. Wrap this around the bottom, get the starter back in, and we're ready for the transmission. Folks, we got bell housing. I'm so pumped right now, you have no idea. I had to measure it for runout, and basically what you're doing is you're checking runout against here and here. So I had hooked up my dial indicator and spun this around, and it was only out 3 thousandths, and 5 thousandths is, I think, maximum. So I think we're good on that. I didn't film some of this, but I'm torquing these to 40 foot-pounds. And yes, this is not super accurate because of the swivel and the extension, but really the important part is that they're all just torqued to the same value. So I'm using the same thing for all of them. Just a reminder, these all have lock washers on them as well. They say between 35 and 45 foot-pounds, but really they all just need to be kind of the same. Now the instructions really only mentioned torquing the bolts that go into the block, the engine side. It doesn't really say much about these at the bottom, but what I'm going to do for these is, since they also have lock washers, I'm going to according to the instructions, I went to 35 foot-pounds, 40 foot-pounds across the engine side. These I just did like as tight as I could, and I might have over-tightened this one and this one. The bolt is fine, it's just that the washer got a little squished, so I'm going to replace those two. Otherwise, this thing's pretty good here. Pretty cool. Next, we'll try to get this. Actually, I gotta find the bolts for this, and I might need a shim too. So let me research that before I put this in. Probably put the headers back on at least. Or at least get them started. Yeah, so I went a little too tight on these, but replace them and we're better. I know, like in my last video, I promised that I'd start doing longer videos with more things kind of bundled together. But this video was supposed to be part of that last video, and I have nothing else to bundle with this one. My bell housing shaped albatross is gone now. And I did want to just mention something really quickly. The reason why this part of the project was so much of an unknown and not necessarily difficult, but just kind of like brain draining, is that there's just not a lot of information about doing these coyote swaps piecemeal the way I've been doing it. When you are doing this swap, there's a lot of different choices for parts, a lot of different manufacturers, and the choice of the combination of those parts that you're putting together can drastically alter the order in which that you are building. Also determines how easy your swap will go. Everyone knows that the best way to do this swap is to have all the parts from the get-go, build it on the K-member, and then just raise it up into the car from the bottom. Hands down, best way to do it. Plenty of room to access everything. You could just throw the bell housing right on, put the clutch on first, obviously. Measuring that run out would be so much easier if the whole thing was out as well. But life doesn't always work that way. I personally couldn't afford to buy all these parts outright. If you can, great. When I bought this engine, I had about 30 days to test it, make sure that it worked, before I could return it if it was a dud. And that's kind of a thing when you're buying a junkyard engine. You don't know. You can do your best to look in the bores and everything and pop a valve cover. Visual inspection isn't 100% perfect. So I kind of hoofed out that part to get the engine put in. I bought the computer and everything to get it started, and we did, and it worked great. And that was fantastic, because if there was a problem with that, I don't even know what to tell you. We probably wouldn't be at this part of the project right now. Granted, of course, I could have just put it together as like a cranker pallet and tested it that way. But if I'm going to go through all that trouble, then I might as well just throw it right in the car that was just sitting there empty, right? I mean, what would you have done? So if you're building a coyote swap piecemeal, the way that I'm doing it, I think that's very valuable information to know, that you can put all these parts together while the engine is in the car. Of course, provided you're using the same parts that I am. That's the UPR K-member, the speed engineering headers. Plus, it also lets you know that you can take all that stuff out through the bottom of the car if you need to change the clutch later. I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting 50,000 miles on the clutch to even require it to be changed, but you never know, things break and it needs to be fixed. So that's a possibility. Now the starter, on the other hand, I have no idea how to replace that once everything's put together. So this also unlocks pretty much everything else that I need to do for the project. I can now tighten those headers back up, get the starter put back in. I bought the shim that I needed. I could put the steering shaft back in. It goes through that header. The cooling system in, if I didn't mention that yet. And I could basically finish putting all that semi-permanent wiring in, and all that can be done while I'm saving up for the T56. Really, the only unknown that I have left on this project is how I'm gonna hook up those headers to whatever catback I put in here. So do I just get a universal X-pipe kit and weld it in myself? it's a possibility. You know, I really would rather do all the work myself, so we'll just see when we're up to that part of the project. We're not there yet though. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, drop me a like. If you like the shorter form factor of this video, also let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want. If not, that's cool too. Either way, I will see you next time. It's not very compelling content, I know. There's a finger doing it this way. Quick break because there's no blood left in my arms. Oh God, I am a dumbass.
Watch that hurt.
Ouch. I'm sharp.